Mahomes rule. The Mahomes rule.
Hey, but anywho, since we talking some of these quarterbacks, obviously you got Mahomes on your mind, but I'm thinking about another quarterback that technically is still in his division, but looks like he about to be on the move, man.
Okay.
Oh, Russ Wilson, man. Russell Wilson. The reports are now out from the Denver Broncos that, yeah, they're gonna be releasing him once the new league year starts. And it's interesting because of how the contract is set up for Russ. With his guaranteed money, he has the opportunity to do what we call the double dip. Now he could go sign, anywhere he wants, and he's still gonna get, his guaranteed money. Now the way that it works, from the way that it's been communicated is the lease that he takes, from wherever new team he goes to, vet men, the Broncos still got to cover all of the guarantee money. Now, the more money he takes, then that helps the Broncos out. It will alleviate some of their pressure.
Mm-hmm.
But with that being the case, as it stands today, when Russ is officially released, there is this possibility that you could sign him for the vet minimum.
The vet minimum.
The vet minimum. We talking Russell Wilson, Super Bowl winning champion, 2-time Super Bowl appearance.
Yeah.
Been a top 5 quarterback the majority of his career.
Yeah.
Been a franchise guy. I mean, obviously, those type of dudes don't typically come around for vet minimum conversations. But in this situation, he's vet minimum. I mean, and I was looking at the numbers. Technically, that's cheaper than what the boys making, what the guys making. So you telling me cost isn't a factor right now? Also,
no,
potential.
I feel like, what are you saying if you do it?
I'm trying to ask you what you saying, how you look at it, what you feeling. Is the game past Russ, or is Russ still Russ, or is Russ with a minimum level contract way more appealing now than what it might have been? A month or two ago.
Yeah. I mean, Russ with that contract is way more appealing than it was a month or two ago.
Come on, baby.
Way more appealing. And I feel like it's something that it's kind of like, what are you saying though? Like, are you saying this is high? Are we moving on with this? Like, is
this is my thing.
Just a 1 year.
If you got the opportunity to bring in Russ, if that means that you essentially close the book on Kenny.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
are you doing that? Or has Kenny done enough to you that you would want to see that again and potentially pass on the opportunity to bring in Russ for a vet minimum contract?
I mean,
because that's where we at.
Even though it's vet minimum, you don't bring Russ in to be a backup. Like, I don't think he even comes to do that. He's not even talking.
Bro, this is Russ we talking about. What are we talking about? Russ is not a backup. Russ is the starter. So you know exactly what I'm talking about. Yeah.
This vet minimum isn't that. Like, it's just
when I say he's coming on the vet minimum, I mean he's here. But now because the whole rebuttal was always he costs too much. That's what they say about Justin Fields. You can't find a person that will give you a legit talent reason why Justin Fields doesn't make sense to come here. The rebuttal is always the numbers from a monetary standpoint.
But I think Justin Fields even still makes sense. Like, the numbers.
Trust me, we're on the same page with that. We're gonna get to Justin. I figure we talk Russ first. We're gonna get to Justin though. We definitely gonna talk Justin.
I mean, if you can get him for them numbers, it's just, what are you saying? Yeah. Like, is this my quarterback? We're moving on. We're about to pay him after this year.
So I looked at it kind of like this, man. When I was thinking just the Russ dynamic, I'm like, bro, you're 3 to 5 years max. I'm not looking at you as a long-term option, but at the same time, I have legitimate questions about Kenny Pickett right now. Do I look at him as a long-term option? I'm saying to myself with Kenny, 2 to 3 years max, right? This is his 3rd year. If you heat up, you do it back to back, I'm going to give you the 5th-year option. That's my 3 years. If not, then it's 2 years. After that 4th, we're going to not pick up the option and we're going anyways. I got to go back to the draft. So I kind of looked at the Russ situation in a similar vein. I need you for them 2 years. I know this first year, the vet men type scenario. Then we look at that next year. But if you cooking like we think, then I ain't tripping. But if you tripping, then I'm walking away anyways.
So
that's kind of how I looked at it.
He had the Geno phase. Like, this can go
yes
right.
And no. Yeah, if it goes right, we can go right. Mm-hmm. But if you trip, all right, we done seen you fall. We know it's you. It's not us.
No.
But I look at it either way in that 2 to 3 year window because I'm saying Arthur Smith the same way at the OC spot. I'm like, all right, we saw you cook in Tennessee. You got the promotion. You failed at the promotion. Now you coming back to the OC. You got 2 to 3 years to cook. If that don't work, then we probably resetting it anyways. And if he does cook, you probably leave him for a head coaching job anyways. So that's kind of why I'm in this whole phase of, bro, I'm looking at these next 2 to 3 years and I'm saying, how do I maximize that? How do I maximize TJ, Minka, Highsmith, right? How do I maximize that right now? Man, I still got GP on a rookie deal. You know? Like, that's kind of how I'm trying to piece this thing, Broderick, rookie deal right now. Like, I still, I got a chance to, like, make a legit run. And the big sticking point is,
you feel like the Steelers are like a piece or two away? You feel like they're a quarterback?
I think a quarterback changes a lot for this team. Yeah, I do.
You think they're
and I think that was reflected at the end of the season, right? We looked at Mason in those final 4 games and how the offense exploded, how the team as a whole just felt different, right? Mm-hmm. And then we think about earlier on, you know, that year and the previous year. Yeah, we were winning, but did it ever feel like we were some dominant team or we felt like we could just come out here and do what we wanted? Nah, it was like, bro, we performing surgery. Yeah. Everybody got to be perfect. And if one thing goes off, good luck. We ain't trying to live like that. I do feel like with an upgraded quarterback, you don't live like that. Yeah. Heck, bro, Russ on his down year last year still gave us more than we've had offensively the past 2 years.
Yeah. I think the Russ
thing
makes sense. But I think I think the Russ move could make sense. The only thing is you're just like, what do you do with Kenny then? I think that's the whole question. Like, what do you do then? Because now
this is what I wanted to ask you. Could you still have him on the roster city?
Like, I think see, these are big. Because you're basically saying, this is my new quarterback. This is what I'm bringing in. So, like, let me see if I back up Kenny in a sense, but I'm getting ready to have to trade that, you know?
Okay.
I might try to make a move on that on draft day. I might try to make a move on that. I don't know if you can really make a move on that right now. That's another.
But this is the thing. I'm like, what are you trading it to?
That's what I'm saying. I don't know if,
that's why I'm like, it might just sit. It might just sit as your number 2. Give it a year or 2 to develop and then let it get the Mason Rudolph. All right. You get you a swan song if an injury happens to Russ, or if contract-wise we're like, you know what, man, we're going to go in a different direction anyways. Kenny, let me see what you can do real quick.
I don't know if they're ready to just make that move in the sense of like, all right, I'm going to shoot that hard.
Yeah.
And that's why I said the Russ move is a tough move, because I don't know if you're really ready to say, I'm just done with you. Like, this is the next move I'm ready to make. Because Russ
I do feel like, though, he's the only quarterback that this conversation works like that for, though. Because he is the most established. Yeah, he's different than Fields. He's different than Tannehill, any of these other guys. Like, he is already in his own class. So that's why I'm like, I don't think it has necessarily the same, like, complete negative, you're done message to Kenny. I can see it also being bro, look, man, we got a lot of pieces around us. We're not saying that you can't develop, but we can't keep waiting. So we need this here now. While you wait, you work. This opportunity come right back to you in a year. You still in the contract. That's kind of how I was looking. Because
Russ is the guy. Like, as crazy as that sounds, because it's just such.
You say you don't feel like it is, or you feel like he is?
It's just the business, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'll be real. I think Russ would be a great piece for the Steelers. I think he'll come help. I think he's he had that element of the run, the winner factor. Russ is a winner.
Yeah.
Russ knows how.
That's
to win.
what I want. TG, we got 10 wins with 3 different quarterbacks last year.
Yeah.
You don't think we would improve upon that with Russ? That's my whole thing. I'm like, shoot, Baltimore hosted at 13 wins.
Mm-hmm.
What are we talking? Like, that's kind of how I'm looking at it. I'm like, we're not far off clearly record-wise from Baltimore and from where Buffalo was at record-wise.
Russ fits our Arthur Smith offense to the team.
Come on, bro. Come on, bro.
Yeah.
Come on now.
Like, it makes sense in terms of strategy.
All right, and it don't kill your roster from a money standpoint either.
Like, it's not a bad move. It's just a power move.
Yeah.
You know?
It's definitely a power move, though. And like you said, if you're not ready to send that type of message, then you can't do that.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
is Russ not coming back up? I don't even think
Russ is the starter. It's not even a debate. Russ is the starter.
Yeah. Russ don't come to compete. That's more what I'm saying.
Yeah. No. I'm with you on that. I'm saying, like, That's what I'm saying. Like, bro, it's clear cut. Kenny will be number 2. It's not a debate. The minimum is just, yo, he's here. Like, now you can't say we don't want him because the money costs too much. That's completely out of the equation. But Russ on your roster, he's a starting quarterback. I'm not even about to even entertain that. Nah, absolutely not, bro. But what I wanted to ask you specifically though is, do you feel like that dynamic could work if the team simply told Kenny, look, bro, you're going to be the backup at least for this year, and it's Russ coming in? Because I feel like Russ is a different convo than Justin Fields. I feel like Fields, that's a hard sell for a young quarterback. I even think Tannehill's a hard sell. It's like, bro, with Russ, you're telling this young cat, bro, this guy has already done all these things. This guy is what we're hoping you can develop into, so to speak.
Okay.
So almost in the sense of what we thought Mitch was going to be able to do Kenny's rookie year, right? You take the reins, you be the guy, and then after that, man, if it goes bad, we'll turn it over. But worst case, he learns from you.
Yeah.
Mitch ain't Russ. You feel me?
That's a way.
Russ is one. Yeah, and that's why I'm just like, even from Kenny's perspective, how much does his view change when it's Russ versus if it's somebody that he views as a peer or as an equal? I think with Russ,
if you bring Russ in, you're bringing Russ in to start. That's the whole thing.
You see what I mean? Yeah.
You're kind of, like you said, little broing him in the sense of like, you're watch him and you're going to learn from him. And then we'll see.
I think it's an easier sell with it being Russ versus it being somebody. Yeah.
It's kind of like you just said, the time is exactly the same to where Russ isn't like all right, this is a Peyton and we're bringing this in.
Right.
And then this is going to retire in a second. It's not that.
Yeah.
Russ is still, in Russ's eyes, in his peak, like Russ is still, I can go for a few years. So it's like Russ isn't coming nowhere to just, all right, 1 year rental. Like, I don't think that either, you know? But I think,
he said he wanted to win 2 and 5. That's what he said. He won 2 Super Bowls in 5 years, bro. I don't need him for 5. I'm hollering him for 3. All I need is solid 3, and I'm gonna holler at him.
I get it. It's business. Like, this the business.
Yeah.
This
That's
what you trying to do? Because I mean, I think for the team, for the best of the team, I think Russ would make sense, and I think he's financially it makes sense. I think everything.
I think the receivers will love him,
and he could be a 1 year guy if you want him to be a 1 year guy. You know, like he's kind of in that little Carson Wentz circle of sense.
Right. We got to see what he want to do a little bit. Yeah.
He got to get it right this year. Like, this is a big year for Russ too. So it's kind of like, I think the whole thing could be this is a 1 year. We're trying to see what it is. We want to see if we can grow Kenny in this year underneath him. And you can spin it like that. And it's kind of like, you can spin it like that.
And you still going to get your money anyways. You still getting paid.
I don't think Russ commits to that. And I think Russ goes, you know what I mean?
I can see that.
I think it's a two-sided story. Like, I think it's going to have to be like, we're doing this, you know?
And Russ still has leverage because Russ has a market. I don't care what anybody is talking about. Russ at this type of price point, it's probably only a handful of teams that aren't interested in him. But this is very true in terms of just what message are you sending going forward. Unless you think he's going to be the guy for the next 5 years, I'm not technically on that. I'm like I said, I like him for 3. I'm like, after that, I think
Russ do land. Like, he's an interesting one. Like, and it's kind of like,
Atlanta. He could go there.
That's a good spot.
New England, he could go there. But with New England, that's the combo. Do you draft something or do you go Russ?
New England drafts.
Yeah.
They come up young and they just, let's start this whole thing over. Like,
Tampa Bay, are you married to Baker or are you willing to roll with Russ?
They let Baker walk. Like, Baker's a free agent.
You see what I'm saying? So it's like, all right, well, what's up?
And Tampa just paid Mike Evans. That's an interesting.
So what's the plan over there? Like you said, we still are in the convo. We're trying to see what we're gonna do. We got a young quarterback, but still question marks there. Let's see who else, man. Minnesota.
The Raiders could use a quarterback. That could make sense. The Raiders.
Yeah, the Raiders could.
I feel like Russ got to go back west. Like, Russ to me feels
stays in the division too.
Yeah,
but he's from VA, bro. Bring him back to the East Coast.
He is, but I think he's been so good. I think the Raiders make sense. Like, he's out there, like Denver.
Yeah, keep him in the division, bro. Keep him in that division out there. Yeah,
like we watch him all the time on film. It makes sense. Like, I can see Russ to the Raiders making a lot of sense.
What about Minnesota? I know for Minnesota, they're talking potentially Kirk Cousins going back there, but what about Russ up there?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if that's Russ. I
don't think it's Russ either, though.
it's Russ.
Yeah.
Like that don't feel like that
Yeah.
don't feel like the spot.
I can see Atlanta, though, low key, bro. I can see Atlanta, but I think it's weird. I think it's weird because you know who is in Atlanta? Who?
Oh, yeah.
Come on, bro. Yeah, it's March Madness, bro. You know who in Atlanta, bro. You know who in there. Hey, what we talking about, bro?
You ain't trying to do that.
That boy said, ooh. Pluto, boy. What would Pluto do, huh? What would he do?
I feel like that just feels to Atlanta makes so much sense.
It does. It makes perfect sense. It makes perfect sense. Yeah.
Like, I just think that makes sense. It's young. It's all connected.
Yeah.
Like I just think that's if Justin doesn't come to Pittsburgh, I think Atlanta's where he needs to like land.
Yeah.
You know,
I can see that. I can definitely see that.
That's what I'm saying.
Y'all think
there's not a lot of spots for us. I think somewhere like the Raiders makes a lot of sense. A lot of sense.
I can see the Raiders. I can see it, bro. I wonder what about in New York with the Jets or not the Jets, the Giants.
The Giants. I think the Giants draft one. I don't think they can. I don't.
You think they'll draft one? Okay.
Because
I was like, that's still a Band-Aid situation, and you still obviously, you dealing with one contract you're trying to get rid of. Do you reset on another rookie dude that you're gonna be committed to, or you let Russ come in and do the whole Band-Aid thing?
I think they're gonna be in so much trouble with that. Makes them put them in so much trouble too, because they're gonna be stuck with that. Yeah. They just paid Daniel Jones.
Just paid him, bro. Yeah.
So they're gonna be on one of them like dead money type situations with Russ. Like that's just gonna get too expensive. You know.
Yeah.
You can't go from that.
Because Washington and Chicago, they drafting. Yeah.
Yeah. I think a lot of dudes want to draft. Like a lot of people want to let me get young with it. You know?
But this is my thing, man. I feel like at certain positions, we like proven versus youth.
I feel
but with this position right here, we're kind of like, we'd much rather go with the younger guy just because he's younger. Like, you know how hard it is to find a developed dude. You know how hard it is to find a proven guy that can play quarterback in this league. Bro, it's how many first rounders every year because they suck, bro. They be sucking.
Russ is starting to fall into that conversation of Carson Wentz conversation, where it's like, Carson Wentz was a winner too. Carson Wentz did a lot of things too. Carson Wentz was a first rounder too. You know what I mean? And it's kind of like it's just not working for some reason where you go like that first league. It's like, all right, we'll put that one on you. If this one don't work, it's kind of like, all right, now you're in a different combo. You know?
I agree. I would agree with that, bro.
Say somewhere like Philly could be interested in a Russ, but it's like I know you love that.
You still got Jalen,
that to where it's like
But you paid it already though. You just paid that. Paid that. Yeah.
You know?
That's gonna be interesting though, bro. That's definitely gonna be interesting.
Where he land is gonna be interesting because he's such like a power spot. You know?
Yeah. Well, because like you said, wherever he goes is going to have a natural effect off of that.
I don't really know.
It's a big name, bro.
I don't know if Russ in Pittsburgh really makes sense though. Like the Russ effect, if you know what I mean. How he moves.
This is the reason. This is the only reason why I think it could work. Number one, I watched that Brandon Marshall interview, and he had the buzz cut with the rollie on, black tee. I like the energy. All right, I was so right there. The next thing is this, man. He from VA. All right. You got Coach T. Now, Coach T is 7'5" guy. He an 804 guy, but we can make that work. All right. Who don't want to play for Coach T? And after the situation he just came from, where clearly Denver was not a family organization, clearly Denver did not show him that type of love and put his arm around him. You know how we do in Pittsburgh, bro. They're going to love on him. They're going to make sure that whatever he needs to feel like he's comfortable, whatever Sierra need to feel like she's comfortable, bro, they're going to accommodate. And that's the part for me where I'm like, does he got some of that stuff about him? Yes. All right. Do he got some of that stuff where you like, bro, I don't think that's going to fly here? Sure. But what he brings in with the people that are already here, I do think it can work. And you think about our team as a whole, on the offensive side of the ball, bro, we're young. We don't have that type of like, guy. That's one of them. He leads the squad, offense, defense, especially. Like everybody go. You know how it is, man. When we had 7 here, bro, it's like, when 7 spoke, everybody was listening. Russ has that type of energy. Russ would have that type of command. Also, we haven't had that either since during that time frame.
Yeah, but that defense is that defense over there. You know, that's TJ.
Yeah, but that defense getting tired and it's getting older also.
I get that. I'm more
So
saying
it's like, how long are you gonna wait on it?
I'm with you.
That's my only thing, bro. Like, I get what you with though, bro, because it's like, man, if you do it, you've essentially said, bro, this first round pick that we did 2 years ago,
it didn't matter. That's like, yo, you failed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It hits with the yo, you ain't terrible, but like you ain't what we thought though either.
That's the one.
Yeah, that's tough one. That's a tough one. That's a tough one.
That's a lot.
That's a tough one.
You know?
All right. But he is a lot. What about the other one though? In terms of Justin Fields.
I think
a lot to you as well.
I think that's a lot, but I think you're saying, yo, this is my quarterback. This is what we're going with. This is what it is.